name's Kirsty Belfrage. I'm a consultant anaesthetist. I work in the region surrounding Bendigo. I graduated Monash University with honours in 2009. I spent clinical time in Bendigo as well as in Kerrang and then in Melbourne hospitals. I went on for internship working at the Austin Hospital and the Northern Hospital in Melbourne, as well as a couple of country rotations to Bendigo and to Echuca. I ended up being accepted into the anaesthetic training program over in Adelaide, and then in final year mostly spent my time in Melbourne hospitals, but I also did an elective in Basingstoke in England doing anaesthetics. I moved back to Bendigo to a consultant position that has got me to where I am today, I suppose. For third year, I spent the entire 12 months in Bendigo. That obviously covered a broad range of different subspecialty areas, and the privilege that I had was that I was actually exposed to anaesthetics. Most of my city counterparts probably don't have that exposure and don't actually know about the specialty of anaesthesia until much, much later on. I started to structure some of my internship and residency places to try and maximise my chances of getting into the anaesthetic training program. I eventually was accepted into the South Australian anaesthetic training program, and so jumped at the chance of going there and continuing this path. I had entertained the idea of possibly staying in Adelaide. Ultimately, family and further life choices brought me back to Bendigo. You have to take the opportunities when you get them, and it was a case of knocking on the right door, and my current company welcomed me with open arms, which was really fantastic. Coming back and doing anaesthetics in Bendigo has been a wonderful experience. It's really important for me that I have those close connections with different patients. It really does feel like I'm giving back to the community. So teaching is probably a very new thing for me. I do a combination of things with the Monash University. I teach the third year students problem-based learning. I spend some time with the final year medical students going through simulation-based training, and also do regular lectures for the final year medical students on pain management. The thought of missing out on what's happening in bigger centres is always on the back of people's mind, but very important work gets done in the country. You still get the weird and wonderful cases coming through. It's worth having an open mind when it comes to coming and working in a regional centre. We still have all the same facilities that you would get down in Melbourne, and we're only 2 hours away from the city, and it supports a very good lifestyle as well. The satisfying thing about working as a doctor in regional Australia is that community aspect and supporting patients in an environment that's close to their home. There are some different incentive schemes that are available through the government for choosing to work in a regional or rural setting. Most importantly, it's more just supporting that community and giving back to the population that's here. Good quality universal healthcare is one of the biggest assets that Australia has, and we're here to support that as much as we possibly can.